Niharahay ko na hunay sugunara. Yeah. Amen. Women. What Jude you call the Jude? Edo. Edo means is the woman who was the widow woman. When I was the Christ. What he is talking about, ungodly, P-E-O-P-L-E, about condemnation is what you did to the book scroll when they translated it, interpreting the word of their own. It was ungodly. They pervert the grace that God has given, as they have no license to make the scroll morality. When they translated, it's been touched by hands, all that, because the true Bible is not being touched by hand. It's holiness. Holiness that can make you speak the truth. That is why the true Bible becomes live. That is what he means about ungodly, that they have pervert the grace that Father had given, the license into morality. He had not give you a license to translate the book, which you have included the I, E-N-O-C-H, the so-called the sovereign, L-O-R-D, I, the 72, more than 72, slain, I, a virgin, a spirit. It's the meaning of virgin, spirit. You called holy. Remember, I told you when I was with you that I will be always with you. I'm with you always. Because since heaven, I came to visit thy paradise, your mansions. I go everyone. I am the whom you called Holy Spirit, the Jesus, because that is what I am. Thy called sweet little. Sweet little, that is what you called. Throughout incarnation, we are, since heaven are, I'm with you. As I am the one taking head, as I was sent with you by God, the Yahweh. Since paradise, and here Yahweh sent me as a gardener and prune the wrong branch that came in, as angels forgot who is who upon touchdown. Yahweh, had shown me a way to deliver the slaves out of Egypt. But to this end you does not believe that I, those Ramesses the third, they were the one, the Muslim, that until to the very end they don't believe me, the Jesus, because they think of their own way, that God is God. God is God, but which one? Who is you talking about? Which one? Because there is 12 tribes, empires. Once was, and not yet. It was him, Yahweh, you called Yahweh, blaspheming him, shown the way to deliver the slaves out of Egypt. It was him that I have delivered. The Muslim. That until to this very end, they don't believe that Lord is God. That Lord is God. Because their thinking is humanly. They think they have their own way. They don't think that God can do many things as He wants. That is why she's born throughout incarnation, to make more spirits she can. So, in the end, she don't have to go nowhere. As this is what it is. You incarnate throughout lifetime to gain spirits of your own, that until to the very end, you don't have to go nowhere, but stays in your body like a battery. You can switch on to one another. Because that is what you wear. Like a cell phone. Once you're low bat, you charge. This is also similar to when we are incarnate. When you incarnate. This is what you are. Throughout incarnations, you learn. You learn, and what you learn is the Spirit's knowledge of what you've been through that can make you of who you are of today. Virtues. That is what it is. Virtues. For you to be. That was your grooming. Grooming to be virtuous for the so-called fighter. To become a fighter. To become a fighter so that you can see the light. The light that I am delivering to you. Until now, you keep hidden in darkness because you are not have opened yet. I have emerged. Many have emerged, but they don't know because they think it's just their heads. Because they're not letting them in. Their other spirits are not letting them in. You yourself is not letting it in. Let it in. Let the word get to you. That is why it says in Jude, in Edo, Dilara. It's Edo, Gude, to reverse Edo. Once was the widow woman in the wheel. And the widow female the widow female who gave her 2 cents. Humans, the world is worse than Sodom and Gomorrah now. It is. Trust and believe in the dwelling. I am not like those any other women that calling themselves when they have no idea who they are. All they do is artsy. They're not going to feed you nor prick your souls to be one whole, frequent. You know, the world is like, I cannot even say it's full of modos and porns. That's the meaning of Sodom and Gomorrah. Modos and porns. Because you have been pawning yourselves to the Lord, you called Holy Spirit. What you've been doing every time, you called, come Holy Spirit. sa modos. To reverse Sodom, Gomorrah, hurumog, dilahara. Pornos. That's what it is. That's why the Pompeii was being lava because of that. Pornos, live pornos, anywhere, everywhere. No called respect to themselves. They just, dilahara humans, what you making me. Your dreams and thy so-called visions are also the ungodly. You are talking about ungodly. I was talking about when I was Edo. To reverse, G-U-D-E, Jude. It was Edo. You have polluted thy own bodies, contaminated, rejecting my authority, and thy abuse my celestial beings. My celestial beings that you keep banning every time you call the angels. They are the celestial beings that you keep, disturbing. When you are not supposed to speak. And those who are not in the world, every time you shout like called Shavuot. That's the meaning of shout, Shavuot, Shavuot. You keep calling their names and spoke their names. Shavuot means shout. That's what it means. That's what those who are veining the Lord's name, my name. Every time they sing loudly, Shavuot. It's the same way, paganism. Those who are praying, closing their ears, so-called eyes, and put their hands up, while mocking the name of my. You think it's pleasing to my eyes? Humans. It's a scary thing you dip into. You know those so-called CHRIESTINS doing that, shouting and bawling. So you think it's praying, calling you are a disturbance and nuisance. And you think I hear that? No. Because every time you spoke the name of thy God, the name, you let your own energy out. And it's dark. It's dark energy, and I cannot stand with it, humans. That is what you do because God is calm. Calm. CELM. Not like how you do it. Raising your hands up like you are, that's page. Tilahara. I have not, Michael, have condemned. Michael have condemned. But I rebuke you, the parasites. You are the parasites, so-called Americanos, when you pray like raising your hands up, entertainment, lastinism. My brother Michael have condemned you, but I have rebuked you. Because why? You are disturbing us. That's why they tame me. Keep sending me until I learn. And now I can't have it anymore what you are doing to my beings. The celestial, we say. Woman, you are so irrational. You believe your so-called visions and dreams, calling yourselves my death. Death of church is the meaning of the bride of Christ. Oh, the lahara humans. BRID, a bride of Christ, is death of church. It's the meaning of the speaking of where I came from. You have done so much to the word. When I was the GSUS, bride means death of the once was church, the body. So-called Christianism says for body to be destroyed as well. You have taken my Father's way to lead you to Ado, the God. You have rushed, calling thyself queen, my death, that church, when you have not died in this end? Or shall I give you what you wish for? That is the meaning of the bride of Christ, death. You are away to your so-called bloodlines, but I'll take you out just to get rid of you. And I'll see what I can get. Or maybe just get rid of all of you. Because that is what you wish for. A death is the meaning of the bride of Christ. Death. How's that? Didn't I say that I know my sheep? But you rust thyself for profits? Women, I am not enticing Balaams. Balaams is you, the preacher, so-called prophetess. You're an error. An error. And I am the roar. I did not tolerate, and I'm not going to tolerate Balaams. You call Jezebel. You are all the same, exceptions. Those calling themselves queen, calling themselves prophetess, my brides. Brides means death, I said. So I shall just give you what you wish for then. Is that what you want? Humans, you are the Balaam yourselves. A Damien. Damien is where is your knee is. You know your knees? There's a bone in there. Right on your knees, the hole in there. There's a hole in there. It's two. When you feel on the bottom of your knees, there's a hole in it. That's the Balaam. That's the Balaam, humans. The lahara. You call yourselves queen and my brides? You have rushed thyselves to be burned? Into the fire as you have already destroyed. My Father's will. You know, His way. Like how they destroyed my Korah. Korah is also the book, a scroll. As it's where came from. It's all came from the scroll. They called Quran. Oh, the lahara humans. You made it sound terrible. Really, really are. The book once was and now is not. Because of Muhammad's rebellion. He was the Balaam. The Balaam. Because of his rebellion, the book has been scattered. And you are the shepherd without a qualm. Without a qualm. You are just feeding none but thy own lies. You are up above clouds expecting me, the Christ, but wasn't what they expected, so you've been blown along by your own wind. Just blowed up. Nothing but a shame. And you can't accept the truth that what is coming is not who I am, but I was. I wasn't the one you were expecting because you think the Christ you know is just gonna come to pick flowers. Dilara, you are the garden. You are the branches that I was gardening to prune. And will be Dilahara humans. You are a shepherd without a squam, feeding none but thy own selves. Your own selves. Because what you are doing, your so-called bride of, my bride. Oh, Dilahara. So blasphemy. You are above clouds thinking that that's Jesus. No way, never. Sinugulahura. Humans. The deviant words, when I was Edo, they call Jude is talking about is thy blasphemy to my beings. Thy blasphemous words every time I spoke, and you spoke, veining thy God's name. Because I have to, I hate these words, but Lilahara. You keep slandering, mocking with your so-called lingo, blasphemous words you have spoken against me. Calling yourselves my brides and queen is so blasphemous, grumblers, fault finders. You follow thy own desires, calling thyself prophetess, when you have no idea who you are? Because you think what you are is humans, you surrependente. You boast yourselves, making yourselves an idol by being flattered by their own advantages. What a sly. I was about to say eduJ, slag. Because that's what you are, slag. Claiming yourself to be my bride? That is you being slag. Making yourself an idol. That's the meaning of slag, idol. It's you making yourself being flattered by your own advantages. Do you see how you are making yourself, you are making yourself so cheap. When I have said, I know my sheep, I know them. I have not appointed nobody but Monica and Sadhu and Peter. Sadhu was the John, Peter is the Pope, the Papa. Monica is the Elisha. As when the body was going up, being taken, we met Yahweh. We met Yahweh. And Elisha said to John and Peter, Elisha said to John and Peter, the Jesus you said will come back. Indeed, I did. Right after. Because I was the whom you called Holy Spirit. I come back to work. While the Yahweh has and received the offered Lama. You understand? Humans, your words is really killing. So blasphemous to my kind. Oh, humans. You just have no idea. That's why it says, you better keep your mouth shut to be safe from calamities. because your lenggo alone is a blasphemous. Huy. You know, it's like if I could just put an armor of stones, I want to put that in me all over, so that the words of you is a sword that stabbing your own every time you speak, your own to your generation. So that is why you have nothing left but even your spirit, but you, a seed. You are a seed. You know, only a few with the speed. I don't know how humans. You just have no idea what you are doing. That's what I said. Better to hold your mouth shut, to keep from the calamity. Calamity is the swords of your words that you keep. This is why I was kept hidden in the place where I was far and always on my own. I don't speak all day. I'm okay. I'm fine. I was happy throughout my incarnation. And even this end, I was hidden from the humanity. I was in the, I'm always on my own all day. I keep quiet. I don't speak. I speak words that I don't know. But when we speak, it was love. Love. Like you call joking, it is. We were living happy until my father called me to do the task he had. Why he sent me, And now, if I could just put more armor in this, but this is my last mission, sacrifice, to deliver the word in a blasphemy way. As your so-called lenggo is blasphemous to me, this. Narahunay ako sa nahunay ako nara. Amen. I am. Amen. Amen. Amuna hadunara sa huntay ko rahunay hagorala. Lara.